Alright guys, welcome back. We have another question from the friction chapter of the Meriam textbook Statics, and we solved the first question in the previous videos. I'm going to put the link in the description below. And in this question, we just need to repeat what we did in the previous question. Only now the 27 kilogram concrete block begins to move down the incline. In the previous one, we had the same system. It was just moving up the incline. And yeah, we just need to determine the minimum value of the force P required to begin moving the block down the incline, and all other conditions remain as the previous problem. We have the static coefficient of 0.4 for both wedge surfaces, and we have the coefficient of 0.7 between the block and the incline. So as always, we need to start with the free body diagram. I defined our x and y in this figure, so we just need to show different forces that we have on the wedge and the block, and we're going to go from there and find the unknown that we have in this question, which is the force P. So start with the wedge. The force P is pushing down this wedge, and we can see that we're going to have friction on the both surfaces of the wedge, and obviously the friction is going to be in the opposite direction of that, so we can consider one friction in this side and one in here, and obviously we're going to have the normal force on each of them. We can call this one N2. The same normal force is going to be applied on the block, so same N2, the friction, which in here would be the coefficient times N2, and we can consider normal force on this side N3, and we're going to consider the block normal force here N1, and yeah, this is going to be mu3 N3. From the question, we can neglect the weight of the wedge, so there is no weight for the wedge, and that's pretty much everything for the wedge on the left side. And as I mentioned, we're going to have the same N2 from the wedge on the block, just in the opposite direction based on the Newton's law, and same friction. Keep in mind that it has to be in the opposite direction, mu2 times N2. We have the weight of the block, which we can show it in here, mg. We have the mass 27, so 27 times 9.81. Acceleration of gravity on Earth, and that's going to give us the force in newtons. And yeah, we just have to decide the direction of the friction for the block and the incline. So again, we're just going to go with the movement. The force P is going to push the wedge down, which means it's going to move the box to the block to the right or down the incline. So our friction has to be in the opposite of the movement. So that's going to be our direction, mu1 times n1. And again, we know friction is the coefficient times the normal force. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for our free body diagram. Now we just have to apply our equilibrium equation. So we're going to go with the assumption that the system is in equilibrium. It hasn't moved yet, so it's about to move to that point, which if we increase the P a little bit, the block is going to move. So we are at that second that the block is about to move. So we are still in equilibrium. And yeah, let's do the equations for the block first. And looking at the equations, we can see that we have two unknowns in here, N1 and N2 for the block. And the reason we didn't start with the wedge is that we have N2 and 3P. So we have three unknowns. That's why we start with the block. And our equation, sum of all forces in X equals 0, and same for the Y. And yeah, let's see what we have in X direction. So for the X, we know that this angle right here is also 20 degrees. The angle that the incline has is 20 degrees. So we have the X component of the weight, which is basically mg 27 times 9.81. This is going to be our X component, which is sine of 20 degrees, and it's positive. We have N2, and also we have the negative, the friction, mu1, which is 0.7, N1 equals 0. So that's our first equation. And moving on to the Y equations, we have N1, we have the Y component of the weight, which is negative, so 27 times 9.81. This time will be cosine of 20 degrees. and also the friction on the left side, which is mu2 times N2 equals 0. So yeah, I think made a mistake in here. This is a plus sign. So if that's the plus sign, because our N2 is actually in the positive direction of X. So yeah, so we're just gonna find N2 in here, which is 0.7 N1 negative 27 times 9.81 sine of 20 degrees. And now that we have N2, we're just gonna put N2 in here in the second equation, and we're gonna end up with one equation based on N1, and that's gonna give N1 295 newtons. And if we just plug that in the previous equation, we're gonna get N2 116.2 newtons. So yeah, that's how we find the N1 and N2. And the last thing, we just have to go for the free body diagram of the wedge. But same thing, sum of all forces in X equals 0, and same for the Y. And if we do that for the X equation, we have this little angle right here between N3 and the X axis, which is the angle of the wedge. So it's 5 degrees here. And we know N3 cosine of 5 degrees would be the X component. And we have the friction also making that 5 degrees angle here. So it's going to be mu as N3 sine of 5 degrees, so negative because it's to the left, mu as N3 sine of 5 degrees. That's the X component of the left side of the wedge, and on the right side we only have N2, so negative N2 is equal to 0. Moving on to the Y, first of all we have the P, which is negative, so negative P, and that's what we are looking for. We have the mu as N3 cosine, and since it's along the positive y-axis, so positive, and mu as N2 plus mu2 N2, and also we have the y component of the N3 also going upwards, so plus N3 sine of 5 degrees. And yeah, now that we have N2 from the previous step, we're just going to put it in here. That's going to give us N3, which will be 120.8 newtons. And now that we have N2 and N3, we just have to plug those in here. And the only unknown that's left is P, and our P is going to be 105.1 newtons. Keep in mind that the final answers are based on the significant figures that we need. If it starts with 1, we have 4 significant figures, which is these ones. And when the number starts with any number other than 1, we're going to go with 3 sig figs. And yeah, I hope it was helpful. Everything was clear. You just have to watch for these little angles, 5 degrees that we have for the wedge. I made a mistake in this sign in here for the N2, but other than that, it all comes from the equilibrium equations. Hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.